So now it's recording. So what are we going to be covering today? What is the main thing that I want us to learn? I want us to learn how to do an online payment, how to integrate cards, how we can accept payments online in our websites. That has been hard for some people, especially for those who are in Kenya. We know integrating M-Pesa is an hassle. Adding the Daraja API, blah, 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 is a real task. It's a real challenge. Some of us who have tried integrating payment systems like, what do we call it, Stripe, it's hard as well. You know that. It's hard. That's the reality, and we accept like that. So, if you can see my screen, I want to demo exactly what I'm talking about here. Let's assume that someone has uh, these online courses, okay? And in these online courses, you want to charge people so that they can access these courses. It's not a master course. Maybe you can charge for a single movie, a single video, okay? You can create a platform like that. Someone to access a certain particular thing, very important thing, they have to pay to access it in your website. So how do we go about that now? A demo. Let me pick. I don't know if I've paid for this. Let me try this one. Yeah. Now this one is working. This one should work. So you see here, once I click this start button, you see, I want you to see this URL up here. This URL up here is telling me I'm in the machine learning masterclass, introduction to ML, introduction to machine learning and AI masterclass. How much is that masterclass? Only $2. How much in Kenya shillings? 258 Kenya shillings. That's the cost of that masterclass. But I want you to see here, for me to access this particular course, for me to access this particular item, I have to click pay now. So once I click pay now, you'll see that pop up. Have you seen that pop up? Yeah, you'll see that particular pop up. So let me reload this and I show you something. So let me reload this. What's up? So let me try again. This keeps paid now. Oops. Why is it not working anymore? Oh, I know why. Give it some time. I think my currency converter just crashed. This is exactly what happens in demo days. So let me start again. Yes, Silas, is your hand up?
Yeah, I would like to ask how much is such a money in Rwanda and France?
I think your audio is not clear. Maybe you can place your microphone near to you.
The money rates or currency rates also are different in different countries. So I may just request to know up to now. May I use this today's currency rate?
Yeah, it's using the current rates.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you how you can go about that. Oh, I know why. My network is very slow. I've just tested it here. That's why it's not responding. So let's try it once more. Let me check my speed test. But my network is okay. Let me try it again. Oops, but at first it just worked. Okay, so give me a minute. I debug this. This is something normal. This is something normal. It should not scare anyone. Give me a second. I debug. Yarn dev. So give me a second. I debug. Then show then show you exactly what I mean. I think I just exhausted uh, my API keys here. It's exhausted. It's exhausted. So unfortunately, so unfortunate for us today. But it should have worked. It should have worked. Let me test another. Maybe someone else can try from their side to see if it works or it's only on my side. So let me just share this link and don't pay. Just try if it works on your side. Okay, same issue not working. Shadrach. Okay, so that's normal. That's normal. That's normal. Yeah, I know why. Because I'm using some currency converter. I'm using some currency converter API. That's I think I just exhausted my monthly subscription, but I'm going to try it out. Okay, that's normal. That's normal. That's normal. So this one we are going to demo with the real one now. So in this case, you find out you want to pay online with a card or with an M-Pesa. So what do? We integrate a third party system that does that. So the system that we are going to use is IntaSend. It's called IntaSend. IntaSend. So in IntaSend, in every thing that is serious, we always have a demo, then we have the live keys. So I'm going to go to IntaSend Sandbox. I'm going to show you Sandbox. Just go to IntaSend Sandbox, then log in to your Sandbox. So let me just log in. Yes, go on. Okay. So I've logged into Sandbox. So let me just add my key here. Yeah, this is my Sandbox. This is not a real account. So this one is not real money. Yeah, this one is not real money. As you can see, it's Sandbox. It's a trial account. So in case you don't know how to do this, just go to IntaSend. Just go to intasend.com. Yeah, intasend.com. Let me share this. Let me just share this link with you as well. Just go to intasend.com, that is Sandbox, and register to your account. I have an account with IntaSend. It doesn't matter the country, it doesn't matter the country. So don't worry, it doesn't matter the country that you are at. It will work. It will work. So once you sign up into your IntaSend, what about Safaricom Daraja? I'm going to show you. Yeah, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. So what is IntaSend? Let me explain what is IntaSend. IntaSend takes the complexity of integrating the raw card. For example, for the everyone who has ever tried integrating Stripe into their platform, especially for us in Africa, most of our countries have not been catered by Stripe. So, you know Safaricom as well. For everyone who has ever tried Daraja, especially if they are beginners, zero beginners, absolute beginners, they know how hard it can be to integrate Daraja. Maybe the documentation was not clear according to you as a newbie. Maybe you don't know how it works. So IntaSend takes that complexity, wraps up into one, then gives you the two in one. That is the card, and that is the card, and the M-Pesa for our people in Kenya. So that's how uh, uh, it is. So I think it just worked. Yeah, finally it worked. I don't know why it was caching. Yeah. So you see, this one is a card payment. So you can enter your card details. Then you are going to automatically pay $12.7. You can do Google Pay, Apple Pay, not Google Pay. You can go do Google Pay. Then you can do M-Pesa for people in Kenya. So let's say I'm in Kenya. Have I catered for people in Kenya? Then what about my global clients? Have I catered for my global client in one place? The Google Pay, the Card Pay, and the Apple Pay. Exactly. I've catered for them. You see, I've already catered for them. So that's how this IntaSend is going to work. So in case now I type my phone number 254 791 48 61 25. In case I type my phone number, now you can see this button now is enabled for me to click. For me to click to, for me to click to pay. Okay, cool. So if I click this one to pay, then I pay, I accept the prompt in my phone, then the payment goes successful, then it's going to unlock the course for me. You see, it is going to unlock the course for me. So that's the functionality that we want us to try building today. We are going to use IntaSend, and we are going to use Cosmo HTML and CSS. Okay, so huh, just a minute. Just a minute. I let someone in. No, we can continue. So, yeah. So basically, that's what we are going to build. Enough of a talk. So let's check the IntaSend documentation. The IntaSend documentation guides you on how to. So you can read through this documentation, then see all these kind of things. Kindly make sure that you're on mute, everyone. Okay. So you can go through the IntaSend documentation just to read how it works, some few stories over here. So our main focus is is this accepting payment. Actually, is this accepting payment? So we want to accept payments. So let's just go here to accepting payments. As you can see, if we start reading through this, we see how can we add our payment button element in our website. So what is the payment element button? This button. This is the payment element button that we are talking about. So how can we really do that? So IntaSend provides us multiple ways to add payments in our websites or in our applications. So we just create a simple button and then we are good to go. So we can use JavaScript and as well we can use Python, we can use Java, PHP, Node.js. So it doesn't mean that you really need to use JavaScript. You can use JavaScript, you can use Node, you can use PHP, you can use Java, you can use Python. All those technologies are supported by IntaSend. So according to our documentation, it's basically telling us, install the IntaSend plugin. Okay, install the IntaSend plugin, then create the payment button, then go to your JavaScript, then add that small JavaScript, then go ahead and accept your payment. Imagine integrating payment system is this easy. We need to add this in our HTML, then install this button, then do what? After installing this button window, we add this small JavaScript to call our IntaSend. I swear it's that simple. 3 steps, and maybe someone is telling me now let's do that. Someone is telling me now let's do that. That sounds easy. Is that true? That sounds easy. That seems to be easy. So let's do it. But in case you have any question and maybe you are getting confused on the way, feel free to be free to ask any question. Be free to ask any question in case. Yeah, thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Sandra, for sharing. Thank you, Sandra, for sharing that. So let's continue and work on some few lines of code over here. So I'm going basically to start this thing from scratch. I'm going to start this from scratch, and I'm going to create a new folder in my file, and I'm going to call it tutorials. I'm going to call it tutorials. Then I'm going to open now this with Visual Studio Code. So just open how you open your applications with Visual Studio Code. Just open how you do it. So because I don't have the shortcuts on my machine, let me just do this. Yeah, so I open that small, let me zoom. I think that's okay. Change this one. Now we are ready to go. So I'm going to create a folder here, and in this folder I'm going to call this payment integration. I'm going to call it payment integration. Okay. I'm going to call it payment integration. I'm going to call it payment integration. So let me try to set up. Okay, so let me call it here online payment. Let me call it online payment. Then I'm going to create two files. The first file will be index.html, then generate my HTML template, of course. Then the next one will be scripts.js, like that. Then of course I'm going to use this one, JS, just like that. Very simple files. Imagine these two files are going to complete our payment integration, and we are going to test it out. Imagine we are going to test this one out, and we are going to see some real payments happening. Okay, so let's do this. So let's do this. Uh, okay, I can see someone wrote something good here, but it's okay. All right. So, where am I? Back to the documentation. So in our documentation, it's telling us to add the payment button. Add the payment button. So because we are using HTML, because we are using the raw HTML, let's just copy that. Then go to our HTML file, then add our payment button. But before we add our payment button, let's call this h1 and say IntaSend payment. As simple as that, IntaSend payment. Now, but before we wrote this button, we were told here before, add the latest IntaSend web plugin. Add the latest IntaSend plugin. So I just copy this plugin. I just copy that plugin. Then I come here. You see here in my head, I just add it anywhere inside my header tags. So inside my head tags, that's where I'm going to add that IntaSend plugin or this SDK, this one here. So with that, imagine we are done with all the HTML that we ever need. So let's see what this one offers. Let me see what this one offers. It seems I don't have live server extension, so let me just install it. Live server. Let me install this one quick fast. Edwin Jenga, do you have any question? I've seen your hand is up.
Hello, Mr. Evans.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, I was hoping if you could copy the new plugin in our messages so that we can copy.
Oh, yeah. So The new plugin. So let me show you. I'm going to copy this link for this website for you. This is a plugin. This is the payment button. This is the JavaScript for it. So let me just copy this website so that you follow along. Yeah, I've shared it. I've shared. Yes, Gilbert, is your? I can see your hand is up.
Morning. So can you kindly repeat from setting up the VS Code since I was not able to see the screen.
Okay. Setting up the VS Code is very easy. Just create a folder for your project. After you create the folder for your project, create two files, your HTML file and your JavaScript file. In your HTML file, go to IntaSend first. Where is it? Then from installation of IntaSend plugin, copy that plugin. Then go to your generated HTML. Then copy that plugin here inside your head tags. Then after you copy that, basically go to step number 2. Copy the HTML part of the button, okay, of that particular button. Then after that, after that, just go here inside your body, then paste that particular button over here. Very simple, setting up the HTML. So I just want to go live and see how this thing looks like. Okay, so as you can see, we have the payment, we have the pay now button that is already here. So where is our button coming from? Is this button pay now with IntaSend? We can change, we can play around with it as much as we want. Then you can see this button over here. So what is remaining for our button to work? Only this JavaScript part is remaining for our button to work. Okay? Okay. So we have two ways. We can either create our JavaScript file and add our IntaSend right here and add our IntaSend right here. That is step number 1. Or step number 2, because we don't have a lot of things here, we can add our IntaSend right here. We can add our IntaSend right here. So for now, let's work with this one here because we don't have a lot of code, so we can still manage with this one here. Now I want us to explore the code. What does this code do? How do we understand this code? Things like that. So here we create a new instance that is window.IntaSend. The window.IntaSend, we create that a small pop-up that pops up. We set the public key for our own account. I'm going to show you how we do that. Then we set if that's a test account or is a live account. We set either live, false, or true. Okay? False or true. So on instance that we call on complete, the activity is complete. What if someone tried to pay and there were no network problems, no issues with anything, and it worked? So on complete, on success, we tell the user, we basically tell the user, do something on success or anything. You can say our payment successful or anything. So you can give the user a message. What if it failed? Either network, API issues. So that's on failed. The keyword failed, on failed. Then tell the user, oops, something went wrong. No, internet went wrong. Something just went weird. Okay? Then uh, let's say it's not on complete and it is not failing. So payment is on progress. Payment is on progress. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. So no network problems, it's just loading. Everything is okay. The card number that you have entered is correct. It's trying to pay now. That's on progress. So in progress, we tell the user the payment is in progress. Kindly be patient with us as we do 1, 2, 3 things. So these messages you can customize them according to your need. And imagine this one should be almost working. So let me refresh this. So as you can see, it's trying to load. It's trying to load something here, but it's failing. Why? Anyone who has any idea, please resend the links. Let me resend the links. Copy. Okay. Someone is, what does the live do? And it said to force, but we are taught to set it to true when going live. I'm going to demo. I'm going to demo. I'm going to demo. So because we are done with everything to do with our code. Imagine we are done everything to do with our code. So what's remaining? What is basically remaining? It's going to our IntaSend and getting the live key, getting the API key. So where do we get our where do we get to, or where do we get our API keys? So you can try to explore everything over here. You can try to explore everything over here, but before we get the API key, let's see. Oops. Yeah, so account limit is not, yeah. I'm going to show you transactions. You see all the transactions that I've made. Recurring payments, in case I have some recurring payments like auto subscription. You see sometimes in Netflix you can do auto subscription. When it's at this date, charge that customer automatically. Those are recurring payments and auto subscriptions. If you want to do refunds, things like that, transaction reports, all those kind of things here. In case you want to send money, in case you have an account and you want to send money, you can send through here. So let's go to integrations. You see where you have integrations. Just click on integrations. On integrations, you have your API key. This is your API key here. You see, this is the API key. But as you can see, mine is a publishable test key. This one is a test key. So in case your account, you go back to live, maybe get your test, switch to live. Maybe in case you switch to live, then that means this one will be your live key. You are not supposed to expose this live key. So just be aware that you are not supposed to expose this key. I'm exposing mine because it's demo. I want to show you, and it's test key. It's not live key. Yes, Olukosi. Because I can see your hand is up. Amisi as well. Do you have any question, Amisi?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you as well, very easily.
I have a question on that publishable key, the API key.
Uh-huh.
So, since they say it's a publishable key, so can I, like, let's say, push this, maybe when I make this website that we're making now,
Uh-huh.
can I push it on GitHub and it becomes public and people can see it and it won't cause any issues?
Now that introduces another concept in programming where we have environmental variables. So we are not, this one is a private key environmental variable. So
Mhm.
we create a .env file. I'm going to show you. We create a .env file. Then after we create that .env file, we add your API key there. Then the
So
moment
it,
we are pushing this code to GitHub, we create
okay.
another file we call gitignore, and it's going to
Okay.
ignore all the env files. Then people won't be able to see this key.
So what you're trying to say is that even though it's written publishable key, it's still no, you're not supposed to share it, even though
No,
it's like a test API key.
you are not supposed to share it. Why should
Okay.
you share it? Maybe someone can use it. You never know what happens on the internet. Maybe someone can
Okay.
use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Silas, I can see one is up.
Uh, in accordance to this response you gave to this guy, for me, I have tried to push the EMU file on GitHub, but
Mm-hmm.
there is something called Git Guardian. I think you have understood, you have seen such a kind of platform. So I have tried to push such a credentials via MV5, but
Mm-hmm.
they showed me that I have pushed some secret out. So how can we fix such kind of?
Well, maybe you never ignored such a file. Maybe you have not added a git ignore file, and then
So
you
means
or
if I ignore those files, it can't be viewed outside.
maybe they said either one of your API keys where you are consuming your API keys, then maybe you added it directly and you forgot to migrate that into env file. That's the case. In case maybe one of them there's something missing that you left out. This happens.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll be trying more steps so that to handle such a thing. If we get any query, I think we are free to contact you.
Okay, you can contact me. I'll share my contact as well, so don't worry.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay. All right. So let's see our API key. So let me just copy my API key here. Then go back to the IntaSend. You see where I have my public API key. Then I'm going to remove that, leave it into the quotes, then push it right there. Push it right there. Then it's good to go. So refresh, click pay now, and there we go. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let me charge my device is going off. Let me charge this. Let me charge this. It's not charging. A moment. Okay, so let's just continue. I don't know why my machine is not charging anymore. Okay, cool. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So you can see this one is working. You can do Link, you can do card payment, you can do Apple Pay, you can do Google Pay, you can do things like M-Pesa. You see, very simple. So we have already integrated this. We have already integrated our payment system. And imagine that's all. Imagine that's basically all what we have. So now with this one, you can click pay, you can see blah blah blah, this one here, reference number, or this one you can do with card, you can do with M-Pesa. For those who are not maybe in one of these countries where we are using Link and M-Pesa, you can do this card payment. Very simple, and it will accept anywhere. Yes, I'm going to get back to you in a few. So someone is asking, where did we set the currency amount price of 10? It was here. You see, data amount, it was 10. What if we change this one to uh, 300 here? What if we change this to 300? Just come here, refresh. It's now picking 300. It's now picking 300 Kenya shillings. Imagine it will pick your this one understands your country. Then it will change this to your country. Imagine, very simple like that. But maybe in case you want to add, just for not for security but for conveniences purposes, you can add something extra like this API wrapper here. Not API, but this currency converter here to convert your currency. Someone wants to pay in USD, someone wants to pay in Ghana shillings, GHH, someone can pay in euros. All these kind of things you can integrate them just to add that extra wrapper for people to enjoy, basically for people to enjoy. Yeah, so you can add that. Now, in case you want to go live to collect real payments, you go to real payments. So you're going to go to switch to live. I don't want to go to live because mine is already live. I don't want to expose my API key that is already live. So switch to live. You log in and then you'll switch to live. So let me not log in. You log in, then switch to live. Once you switch to live, you go to your integrations, go to your API, copy that, then you'll add it here normally the way we have done it. Then you'll switch this one from live from false to true. You'll switch now that from live to true, from false to true. So why false? Why false here in our case? Remember, this is a demo account. Okay? It's a demo account. So that means if it's false, I'll pay, it will be successful. And you'll see money reflecting in my demo account. Imagine this money, you can't withdraw it. This is a virtual money. This is just testing money. You can't withdraw it. So don't think that I have a lot of money. No, this one is just demo points to use. So if the live was false, it will accept the payment. Then after some time, for those who have used Daraja API, now you'll see the money that you paid being returned or being refunded or being reversed. You'll see it now coming. Maybe you paid 10 bob, you'll see, you have received 10 bob. From who? From IntaSend. Now it will do that. Now, what if you switch to live and then you add the live key and then you switch live to true? That means Once a customer has paid. The system cannot automatically refund him or her. The system won't refund the customer. That's the difference between live and false. But in case you are doing it for demo purposes, always keep it to false. Once you test everything is working correctly with your demo account, now you can switch this to live to true. Then you can add your real live key because you have already tested that. So imagine that was it for today. Anyone with any questions? Are there charges incurring when transacting? So this is what happens. So let me just now explain IntaSend in general. I want to integrate a payment system. It sends money to my account directly, my bank account or my M-Pesa or my local um, mobile transactions. But IntaSend does this. It's like something like a management system where you can just people come, pay, then now you can transact that money and forward it into your real account, just like PayPal and the rest. So that's the concept. The client who I'm paying, if I go to this website and pay for this, I'm not going to incur any charges. I'm not going to incur any charges. But the moment I go to IntaSend, the person who is receiving the money will have some few deductions. I think very, very, very small margin of that is manageable for a business that is manageable. That's more transaction that I will pay for it, not the customer who will pay for it. So in case you integrate this, just know you are the one who is going to pay for it. The transactions, you are not required to pay any account maintenance fee, nothing. You are not required to pay for you to be verified or those kind of things. So basically, that's simple. So any question? Yes, I'm Missy.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
My question is, for example, I have created, let's say, a cart,
Mm-hmm.
and it has kind of calculated the total amount that you're supposed to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So where you go? Because I saw us when you were creating that button, we set the data amount to a specific amount.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you edit that so that it takes up the amount from calculated from the cart?
Oh yeah. It's very actually it's simple than you think. Now we are going to say I'll just explain. I don't think if we are going to add it. So we are going to assume that we have a list of items. Okay, we have like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. Each item has its own price. Okay, one is 300, 150 bob, 1000, those different prices. Now, before you go to IntaSend, how do I first calculate the number of items that I've selected? I take the number of items that I've selected, then calculate their total price. Okay, I already have the answer. Calculate the total price before you go to IntaSend, before you go to the next step. Once now I get the total amount, the total price, now this one, the data amount, this one will change. From 300, maybe let's assume that we had a variable, and this is variable, we named it total price. Let's assume we named it total price. Then we assume that we had a variable named total price. Then we are going to pass the total price here. So once we select, click, pay, it will accept the total price for that, the calculated price. So here you don't have to set. Now you can do the JavaScript thing that is passing things or passing data over here. Now this one, it's no longer a string now, but we pass the price itself. That's simple. First, make sure you calculate the price aside. Then after calculating the price aside, then you pass it right here. It's all, everything, it's all in the documentation. I've seen on Monday. Is it on Monday? Mike. Yeah, it's already in the documentation. Mureta, you add this up. Yes, I'm missing.
Lastly, I'm requesting maybe you could show us the way you were talking about how to put the API keys in a git ignore or something like that.
Okay, very simple, very simple. First and foremost, I create another file. See here, I just create another file, call it .git ignore. Okay, .git ignore. So I'm going to ignore all the files that I want. And then I create another file we call .env. Very simple, environmental variables. Okay, environmental variables. So here I'm going to write something like IntaSend underscore payment. Maybe I'm going to call it like that. Then over here, I'm going now to pass my API key. So I'm going to remove this API key. I no longer need it here. Let me copy before I delete it. Then I store it here. Now, assume before you do the real thing. Assume everything, all our keys are already here. Okay, all our keys are already here. Assume we have like 10-15 keys are already here in one file. Then I have to go to git ignore, then ignore .env files. I'm going to ignore .env files and everything that is inside the env file. So in case the moment that I'll be pushing to GitHub, then it is going to ignore all these API keys, all these things in our .env. So let's complete our our demo here. I want us to do away with this API key here. Okay, so let's remove this one here. So we have already created our .env file. So just a moment, I confirm something. But before now we include this, let's first try to push in this thing to GitHub and then we see. Let's try pushing this thing to GitHub, then we see it. What?
Sorry.
Yes, Mike.
I think you are using the env as a folder instead of a file. So you need to remove the slash after
Oh
env.
yeah. Like that, very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also initialize a Git project.
Yeah, then we are going to push this one to GitHub right away so that we test it. I know you guys want us to you want us guys to test this. So let me just initialize a git project, git init, git add all, git commit, then add in IntaSend, then git remote. Before you go to git remote, let me just create a GitHub project here. We go here, new repository, new, going to call it IntaSend demo. I mean, I go through it like great. The shortcuts, I don't have to spend a lot of time. Let me just copy this as well. So from here, git push origin master. So now if I go to this here, this file, I'm going to see online payments, then I'm going to see git ignore. I've ignored .env file, but is the env file here? Is the env file still here? No, it's not here. So the env file, it's not right here. So we have ignored this env file. So that's how you ignore this env file. So you just add your env files or these secret things like this, then you ignore them, then you push to GitHub, and then that means you are not going to face all those issues that we were talking about. Any other question? Yeah, basically that's it for integrating the payment system. So let me stop the recording so that we keep it short. Then we have some now extra time for